Million Cups has taken 2 months off, and we have got a big year ahead of us. How many of you are new to 1 Million Cups? This is your first time? For all of you that are students skipping school, you can come every single Wednesday. We will give you a pass. Let's keep getting the students here at 1 Million Cups. And for those of you that are returners, you know that 1 Million Cups is a platform that allows us to hear from entrepreneurs that are solving problems. And we as a community get to hear their ideas and then think about ways to support them. 1 Million Cups is a platform powered by the Kauffman Foundation that has committed to helping communities support entrepreneurship. We believe entrepreneurship is a team sport, and that we need each and every one of us to support the innovators and risk takers to move their ideas forward. How 1 Million Cups here at Fargo works is we have an opportunity to hear some announcements, get you involved in the community. Sometimes, like today, we'll have a little surprise for you. So we're going to have a random act of art. And then today, we have 2 very, very special speakers. These women are from Grand Forks. They've been recognized at the regional, national, and global level. And they've started an incredible foundation helping out folks. So it's going to be a jam-packed today. Today, we are live streaming across the Forum property. So our friends at Click Content Studio, let's all wave to them, say hello. They are streaming today all across the state. Also, we've got some friends that are helping make today possible. So our friends at Bell Bank, our friends at Kilbourne Group are here saying, hey, we want to cover the coffee to make 1 Million Cups free. So let's give those folks a round of applause. So to kick things off, we have a series of announcements. We want to suck you into the community. For all of you that are missing school today, we want to help you stay out of school and learn in the community. So to kick things off, we've got Christy Dower, who's got an opportunity to get you all involved. Let's welcome to the stage, Christy. Hey, Amos.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning, everyone. My name is Christy Dower, and I'm with the Women's Business Center. We're an entrepreneurial resource that is statewide. Coming up January 31st, we have our next installment of Strong Women, Strong Coffee, a quarterly event. Julie, I see some former panelists, and Billy Joe are actually in the room. This quarter, we have Danny Gilseth and Amanda Sayre from Giving Hearts Day, and Danny is with Grateful Gratefuls. The topic is our gratitude is our strength. So researchers have shown how gratitude can actually rewire your brain. And come join us for an exercise in gratitude and get inspired.
Thank you for your leadership, Christy. Up next from the nice studio, let's welcome to the stage Scott Meyer. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Greg. I'm so excited for this year, and one of the mission of the NICE Center is entrepreneurship for all, and we know one of the easiest ways to get started is to share an idea without spending time building it, see if people will actually buy it. And so what we want to do is encourage all of you to launch crowdfunding campaigns this spring on Giving Starts Day. So you're familiar with Giving Hearts Day, where you love the charity in the community. We want you to love a startup, someone who's going to launch a company. So on 3, 2, 1, we're launching Giving Starts Day, and you can get involved right now at givingstartsday.com. We're actually doing a 4-part webinar series for anyone to learn how to do crowdfunding. And anyone in the community is welcome to then launch their campaign. We even have people who will make the videos for you to make sure your idea looks great and launches successfully. So we hope you'll launch, we hope you support, and we're excited to see what happens in 2020.
All right, thank you, Scott. And for all you students, that's crowdfunding is when you get your friends and family to help you. So when you ask your grandparents and your aunts and uncles, that's just crowdfunding is a fancy way to describe that. And Julie would love to help you out. So whatever you need, Julie will cover it. Up next from Minnesota State University Moorhead, Jane, who's going to give us an update on transforming workplaces. Let's welcome to the stage, Jane.
Thank you, Greg. And that is absolutely true, what was said a moment ago, 2 moments ago, actually. Being grateful is the key to having a good life. And supporting other people, as was just mentioned, is a fantastic thing to do. And one of the things you can do as organizational leadership is support your employees. And one of the things that's confusing employees right now is what to do with this incoming generation. This young generation right here is obviously our future. And in between them and you and I, most of us in the room, is what we call Gen Z. The millennials blew our minds, as many of you know, and actually they were pretty darn cool. Gen Z is going to be similar, but how are we going to manage them effectively? We have a seminar coming up on February 7th about exactly how to do that. Jason Dorsey is coming in from Texas. He's a researcher and speaker on transforming workplaces, or actually on Gen Z. We're going to help you transform your workplace to be ready for Gen Z. I'm going to place these cards near all the various entrances and exits so that on your way out you can grab these. You can see on the screen also how to register. But February 7th, the morning of, from 8 to noon, quick day. We're going to have speakers on marketing to Gen Z, managing Gen Z, recruiting Gen Z, retaining Gen Z, and last of all, a panel of Gen Z speakers, students that are current at MSUM, and the room will be half filled with Gen Z, so we're going to mix it up for you.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks for continuing to encourage your students at MSUM to attend 1 Million Cups Fargo. Up next is Kirk Anton. He's the co-founder of Heat Transfer Warehouse. He's an Emerging Prairie board member, which means he's my boss, so send all complaints to him. And he's got an invitation for us to help kick off 2020. Join me in welcome Kirk Anton.
Thanks, Greg. So just want to talk about Million Thanks. It's the best event that's going to happen out in January. So Greg said, did I prepare? And yes, I did. I have a top 10 reasons why you want to go to Million Thanks. Number 1 is, actually no, number 10, support the winners of the awards. They have done some amazing things. Number 9, you get to look at some awesome planes while at the Fargo Air Museum. Number 8, be in a room full of community winners. Number 7, there'll be some fine dressed people wearing Sorel boots. Yes. Number 6, it's super easy to register through Eventbrite. Number 5, you get to see Greg wear a suit coat. Putting you on the spot now. Number 4, you might meet your next business partner. Number 3 is there's plenty of parking. Number 2, it celebrates community past and future achievements. And the number 1 reason is, what else are you going to do on Thursday night, January 30th at 6:30 p.m. in Fargo, North Dakota?
All right, thank you, Kirk. Kirk is a past award winner. It's a celebration. We'd love to have you next Thursday night. And our final announcement comes to us from our friends that are leading the efforts of Project Cowork. They've been involved in Startup Weekend, active in the community. Join me in welcoming to the stage Erica and Nathan.
Hi guys. We have an event at the end of the month called Project Cowork. It's basically a mini startup weekend for your business, so you can bring whatever projects or 2020 goals you have to work on and co-work with other people to get them done. We also have roundtables on Saturday by Scott Meyer and John Henchek, so those will be great to check out to bring whatever business questions you have.
Yeah, so the event starts at 7 p.m. on January 31st and wraps up at 6 p.m. the following Saturday. So you can find the event on Facebook and buy your tickets there. So bring your ideas and let's conquer them together. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. So at 1 Million Cups, we believe entrepreneurs drive our economy, but artists transform our communities. And so we like to practice random acts of art. So today we have a very special performance to help us kick off our 6th birthday here at 1 Million Cups. So today we have Annabelle Maher here to perform. Her first paid gig was for the Vice President of the United States. She became Fargo famous when she performed during Giving Hearts Day. She's now in the 7th grade at Sullivan Middle School. Let's welcome to the stage Annabelle Maher!
Fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. I will stay. I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side. We all Happy birthday, a million cups. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Annabelle. You can find her on Instagram. She's willing to sign 3 autographs after today, but then she's got another gig. Let's make sure to support our artists. Let's give her one more round of applause. Thank you.
The line for the Americans to watch will be Lamoureux and Lamoureux. Monique Lamoureux Morando. The line for the Americans to watch will be Lamoureux and Lamoureux. Monique Lamoureux Morando, a 2-time silver medalist.
It's Jocelyn Lamoureux Davidson, number 17 in blue.
The Lamoureux twins are from Grand Forks, North Dakota, youngest of 6 children. Jocelyn Lamoureux, nice finesse move. Oh my! Score! This is her twin sister Monique. She scores! And Jocelyn Lamoureux scores the 8th goal. Now Lamoureux cuts to the net and scores! A hat trick for Monique Lamoureux.
Front for Monique Lamoureux. Score! They're so tenacious. That is a highlight goal.
Score! Finish shown, and now it's Lamoureux with a chance. A shot, we score! More Lamoureux. Keep putting them out there. Score!
Talk about the twin intuition, and you see it there.
Jocelyn Lamoureux, a 2-time silver, comes again and scores! Lamoureux does it again!
Back-to-back strikes for Jocelyn Lamoureux Davidson right off the face-off.
Jocelyn Lamoureux, what a move! Long pass ahead to Monique Lamoureux, moving it on Zamanas. She scores! Monique Lamoureux has tied the game at 2. Jocelyn Lamoureux, 2 goals apiece in the shootout. Lamoureux moving in on Zamanas. She dekes and scores! That's electrifying. That's as good as you're going to see anywhere. The United States wins gold in Pyeongchang. The Lamoureux ladies stepped up gigantic in this gold medal game.
It's been a part of our dream to do this together, and to do it in the way we did, it's just, we couldn't have written a better script.
How cool is it to go through something like this with your sister?
Dream come true. It's a dream come true.
Don't open the waters, girls. That's for the twins, okay? Good morning, 1 Million Cups. I'm so honored to be here today. First of all, let's hear it for the Emerging Prairie team, 1 Million Cups, for celebrating their 6th birthday and for being recognized as the best 1 Million Cups in the nation. Let's hear it. I'm so honored to be here today. My name is Julie Peterson-Klein, hi Bell Bankers, and I am the Chief Culture Officer at Bell Bank. But today, let's put that over here on the shelf. I am here as a very proud hockey mom. Let's hear it for these guys. I have these amazing young hockey players with us today from the Fargo Freeze Association, and I just want to tell you girls, and +1 over there, that's my son, Cruz Klein. Yep, he's starting at a young age. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys that I'm so proud of you. I come to a lot of the practices and all of the games, and these girls work so very hard. They have practices. They practice almost every day during the week. You practice so hard. You work so hard in the games, and you are a team, and you have fun along the way, and you have a wonderful time cheering each other on. So let's hear it one more time for these guys. If you are here today, I know there were some hockey players. I saw them come in a little late. If you have ever played hockey or are a hockey player, please stand. And you've got to stand. Some of you are going to stand. Okay, keep standing. If you are a hockey coach, and I know we have coaches here today, please stand. If you are a hockey mom or a dad, please stand. If you're a grandparent of a hockey player, please stand. If your brothers, sisters, or anybody in your family ever played hockey, please stand. I want to thank each and every one of you. Hockey is not for the weak. Thank you so much for all of your time and talents and hours upon hours, especially those coaches. So let's hear it. Now to our two headliners. I am so honored to introduce these two amazing special guests and leaders in our community. And we consider Grand Forks the Fargo community. I do anyway. They won gold and 2 silver medals in the Olympics. They are 6-time world champions. They also spoke at TEDx Fargo in 2018. They are role models for all young women and leaders all across the world. They are amazing moms and new moms in balancing it all. And most importantly, after I got to know them a little bit better, their biggest asset is they have huge pay-it-forward hearts. So please join me. Now, just a minute. We've practiced this. So remember what we're going to do, ladies? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Please welcome Monique and Jocelyn Lamoureux. Okay. You guys can give them a high five. High five all the way. Okay. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job.
My mic on? We're good? Yeah, we're good. Well, first of all, thank you for having us today. We were really excited that we were able to make a date work in our schedule with our crazy busy hockey lives. So since those highlights, it's almost 2 years removed from the Olympics now. So Jocelyn, actually her son is 1-year-old today.
It's his birthday today.
It's his birthday today. So my son's 6 weeks older, but not in size. He's already smaller than Nelson. But since right before the Olympics, I'm sure most of you know, our team went through a gender equity dispute with our governing body with USA Hockey, and to keep a long story short, we didn't make enough progress, and about 2 weeks before the tournament started, we announced that our team was not going to go. It was a very public battle, but that within our experiences really opened up our eyes to what so many working women go through, and not just women, but people of diversity. And so that has really opened up a passion of ours of really trying to level the playing field for anybody that might not be a part of the majority. And soon after the Olympics, we were doing some work with Comcast, and a mentor of ours asked, well, what are you guys passionate about? What do you want to do? And we understood that the timetable of the success after the Olympics has a shelf life, and the platform that we have to build off of, what do we want to do with it? And yes, scoring goals and winning medals is great, but for us, it's being able to give back and to help others and pay it forward, as Julie mentioned. And with our work with Comcast, we got involved in their diversity and inclusion programs, and one of the programs that we were involved in was Internet Essentials, sorry. And it provides income to low-income Americans, and so we've been to internet and computers to low-income Americans, and we've been fortunate enough to go all over the country and actually go to some of the poorest areas in the country and be involved in a lot of different school events for kids, but then also military veterans as well. And it's really opened up our eyes to what, just in the small aspect of what internet access can do for people, and how, especially kids, how if you don't have access to internet, how you can possibly reach your potential in education and be truly successful. And so being involved with different companies that are truly invested in giving back has really opened up our eyes to what we want to do in our lives and in our community. So ultimately, after traveling the country, we always thought that starting a foundation was kind of a long-term goal, like 5 years away, or at least after our hockey careers are over. And we basically, after traveling all over the U.S., said, why not? Like, we're trying to impact so many kids, but what are we doing in our own community? What are we doing while we're home to make a difference? And so we've never started a foundation before, so this would be our first experience, and we just figured it out. We're just take the plunge, figure it out. We'll manage it as we go. We'll ask help for when we need it, and so we started their foundation. Officially started this year in July, or in 2019 in July, and our mission is to make a difference in our local North Dakota communities. That's all we care about, is to make a difference. And growing up, when we were playing hockey, our dad, in the context of sport, he always said, make a difference. Whether that's making a big play, helping your team win, make a difference for a teammate, because sometimes you're not always on the ice to make a difference. Sometimes you're sitting on the bench. What are you doing to lift a teammate up? What are you doing to impact the people around you? And so we wanted to make a difference, and we feel like the platform Monique has talked about, we have a platform to do that in a capacity that many people don't. And ultimately, I think the biggest lesson growing up that we want to use moving forward with our foundation is to cheer for the one behind. And where that comes from is our mom. So there's 6 of us in our family. We have 4 older brothers, and then Monique and I. And we, in sports, if we ever played individual sports, my mom would say, I'm going to cheer for the one behind. So whether it was in track, swimming, whatever, that was her solution of the dilemma of which child do I cheer for. Was I'm going to cheer for the one behind. And what that means for us now is looking at these young girls. We don't know what their day-to-day life is like at home. We don't know what adversity they have to go through. When you walk into a school, you don't know if every kid is going to have a hot meal for dinner. And so ultimately, we want to, beyond sport, beyond extracurricular activities, is give kids a level playing field to reach their full potential. You don't know what anyone else is going through, but what you can do is try to make a difference and cheer for the one behind. And that's ultimately what our platform has given us, is an opportunity and a capacity to give back in a meaningful way. And we truly believe that part of our foundation's mission is to encourage other people to do the same. We have a platform. We know there's a lot of other people that have bigger platforms, but everyone has a capacity to give back. And so in trying to figure out what our long-term plan is with our foundation, we ultimately decided our first grant was to fund the Grand Forks School District for hot lunches for families that qualified for free and reduced lunches. We wanted to make sure, thank you. We wanted to make sure that every child going to school in Grand Forks is guaranteed a hot meal. No questions asked. Children shouldn't have to go to school wondering, am I going to get fed today? And so we believe that there are more people that want to do that, and maybe they just don't know how, or maybe they need the information, and we want to be a part of that education, be a part of motivating others to give back, and help people realize that everyone has the capacity to give back and make a difference and cheer for the one behind. And we as adults in the room owe it to these young kids that are here to do that in whatever capability we have as individuals. And we believe that as a community, if we can do that together, it makes the community thrive, it makes our kids thrive, and ultimately, I mean, that's what matters, is that our kids are happy, they're reaching their full potential, they have the resources to do that, and that's what our platform and our foundation means to us.
All right, let's give it up for Monique and Jocelyn. Thank you. So 1 Million Cups is about supporting entrepreneurs. What we've learned in our 5 first years of 1 Million Cups is entrepreneurs look like all shapes and kinds of folks. They might be living in senior citizens' homes. They might be professional athletes. They might be college students. They might be people that have lost their jobs, and they might be folks that said, hey, I believe in a new path. So it's so fun to have another group of entrepreneurs that are thinking about a foundation, how they can build a foundation of making an impact. So our job as a community, and to our friends watching online, is to ask questions. So we've solicited 2 of the best mic runners in the history of the youth community, number 9 and number 11, and they will be running around grabbing your questions. So if you raise your hand, we're gonna have an opportunity to ask Monique and Jocelyn questions. Also, you can tweet in your questions with the hashtag #OneMCFAR, and we'll pull those questions. So to kick things off, ladies, I met you both actually on a service trip. You were in high school, you were volunteering. I got to know you publicly through the media of your advocacy.
And the chances of that, this is when we were at boarding school. This wasn't like a Grand Forks school. So the chances of us crossing paths is just, it's crazy.
It was Shattuck St. Mary's School. They ate the most peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on any service trip I've ever been on. It was a very expensive P&J budget. But anyways, what I'm so inspired by is your values. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. He was doing an interview with you, and he was talking about your values. And I think he was so impressed to watch the values of what you grew up in your community, in your family, and as your sport. When you were building your foundation, how did you come to the conclusion on which values to pull to the front and say we're gonna support this?
Well, I think when we were coming, it was actually through our work with Comcast and just talking to one of our mentors and like telling him stories and the cheer for the one behind. We were talking about how we were just talking about like a story.
Who was mostly behind?
It depended what sport. So if it was cross country, I was lagging behind a little bit.
All right.
Swimming, you were behind.
I'm glad you.
But. So we were just kind of telling that story. It was just kind of like a throwaway story, if you will, and it just kind of like dawned on us. It was just kind of this light bulb moment. It's like that's something that it's transcended through sport for us, and something that just helping others that might not be as fortunate, and then through our work through Internet Essentials and going to a lot of very low-income schools, it just really opened our eyes to like, this story, it resonates, and it's what we're all about. And so if we can help level the playing field, and it's very broad, so I think it allows us to kind of dip our feet into many different things.
You good?
Yeah.
You want to rebuttal any of the behind elements?
No, cross country, I was definitely not behind.
All right. Thank God your brothers were cheering for you. Okay, so let's go to the crowd. If you have questions, you can raise your hand. Number 9, number 11, premium mic runners will grab your questions. Could we get a question from the crowd? All right, let's go right up front. No, let's go right up front. She did 2 hands, so. And can you just say your name and what position you play?
Amelia, and normally forwards. Have you ever got a goal from your far side of the net?
From our far side of the net, so from like the other end. I scored once from the far blue line, and it was a slap shot, and it like dipped, and the goalie, it was a weird dip, but just once though, just once.
Have you had one yet? Have you done that yet? No? Okay, probably tomorrow. Okay, we got a question over here.
Thanks a lot for what you're doing and for going out there and just giving it a shot. You've met amazing women athletes from around the world, and in our country you've been teammates with them. What about being from North Dakota do you feel like has given you a competitive advantage or has been helpful to you when you compare yourself with women from other parts of the United States?
I think our upbringing in having 4 older brothers, so I mean, that's not necessarily North Dakota, that was a family. Our parents didn't know it, I don't know.
Irresponsible.
Yeah. But like we would go outside and play outside, and we'd play until our feet were frozen, and we refused to be the first ones to leave the rink because we didn't want to be the first ones to succumb to the cold. And I think just North Dakota values, like getting through the dog days of January and February when the sun's not out. I mean, it's starting to stay out a little bit longer, and just, I think it's just like that feeling of having that community where you know it's a strong knit community. We were in first grade during the '97 flood, and I think that in itself taught life lessons that we learn, you don't realize when you're going through it, but you look back and you realize what your community can get through. And I just think it's rare to have that. And I mean, we're proud to be from North Dakota. We're, you know, proud graduates of the University of North Dakota.
Now, where exactly is that?
Yeah, well, we can italicize that, I guess. I don't know.
So let's go to Twitter. This comes from Randy. He's a frequenter here at 1 Million Cups. And he asked, what type of hurdles did you come up with starting a foundation? Not a lot of folks have started a foundation. What was kind of the process like?
Well, you kind of got the ball rolling, so. Monique, yeah, when we really started getting through the paperwork and everything, Monique was very pregnant, and I wasn't as pregnant, so
yeah. 6 weeks apart.
Yeah, I think just figuring out what actually has to be done. Monique has started an LLC, but that was more her thing, and so just basically figuring out, have meetings, but then making sure that you're taking care of, like, everything, I guess. I don't know, it was just, we just figured it out as we went and making sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's, and it's just the two of us right now. We don't have a board, but that's something that in our bylaws, you have to make sure that it legally allows to create a board. And so just making sure those little things are in place so that we want to make it bigger, and we want to have big plans, and you just have to be able to set it up to be able to do that. The thing with us, like, we're not afraid to ask for help in whatever it is that we're doing. So whether it's our foundation work, whether it comes to like hockey and training, whatever it is that we're doing, like we always will ask someone for help if we know that they can be of value to us, and if we know that we're not experts at everything. So we'll go to the people that we know what they're doing, and we're never too proud to ask someone for help or to ask for advice. And I think that's something that goes a long way in the working world, in sport obviously, but yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we're not afraid to ask for help.
Yeah, and it sounds like earlier before we got here, we were chatting about engaging with the legal community, and there's something that you want to do, and your attorneys are saying, hey, be cautious. Part of building a foundation is making sure that you have long-term impact, but you're moving quick enough. And so I'm curious, when you come to a situation where you have to decide which way you're going to go, one of you wants to go left, one of you wants to go right, who breaks the tie?
Who breaks the tie? I would say I'm more of, like, I'll think about things longer, and might stew over them, but maybe I'll look at things a little more logically. Jocelyn, we'll say, has like a shorter fuse. Mine's a little bit more slow burning. So if we have to make a decision like right then and there, Jocelyn will probably make it. But if it takes like a little more time and thought, then it's usually me making it, I would say. But normally me. So if it's gotta be a quick tie, yeah.
All right, let's go back to the crowd and let's switch subjects. All right, right back here.
Hey, first of all, congratulations and great work on and off the ice. I'm right here.
Oh, there you are.
Just the teamwork you guys have together from growing up, being sisters, twins, teammates, all the way through to the foundation. How have you kept that bond strong and continued to work together as a team?
When we went to boarding school, so we assumed that all twins were like us. So when we went to Shattuck, there was actually 4 other sets of twins, and they were all boarding students, and so we just assumed that they'd put us in the same dorm room together. So we get there, they give us keys not to the same room. We're like, no. Like, we share a lot of our stuff. We got to be in the same room. And like, oh, we just assumed you didn't want to be together because all the other twins, like, some of them don't get along and they're not friends. So we just we're like, no, we need to be together. But I think growing up, just like playing on all boys teams for hockey and soccer and other sports, it was always the two of us. Even in team sports, we've always had like a team within the team, and it's been the two of us in everything that we've done. It's never been I, it's always been we in whatever we wanted to accomplish. And so I was like, it's kind of that question of when people say, well, what's it like to be a twin? For us, like, we don't know what it's like not to be a twin, but it's something that I think for us, we wouldn't be, as our individual successes would not be where they were at if it wasn't for the other, because we've pushed each other along the way. We challenge each other to be better in sports and whatever it is that we're doing. And so I think the bond that we have is just when you spend so much time together with someone, it's just, I think that's the way, like, we're not afraid to disagree. If we argue, we get over it really quick, and so it's just something that that's just what our normal is in a way. Yeah, I think a good way to describe it is yesterday, we were finishing our training, and we had 8 sets of we had the option of 8 or 10. And Monique's husband's like, oh, you can do 8. My husband has been training us for like 5 years. So. Yeah, and
That sounds like a bonus 1 Million Cups episode.
yeah. But long story short, he goes, oh, you can do 8. And I was like, we're gonna do 10 because we're gonna finish 8. Monique's gonna say, we can do 2 more. And I'm gonna go, yeah, we can. And we're gonna do the 10. So we're just gonna do 10. But those are the little things, small things every day where we push each other in a good way to be our best and to reach our full potential. And those little things every single day has equated to, successful careers, and hopefully we're trying to continue our career on the national team, and those are the little things that have made us who we are.
So let's go into the foundation and think about that potential. Kirk on Twitter just asked, is this going to be a statewide foundation, or is there potential of a national foundation? In your wildest dreams, what could this foundation look like?
Well, so through our work with Internet Essentials, we've had the opportunity to meet Jackie Joyner-Kersee, and our mom gave us her book when we were younger, and we were too young to remember when she competed in 4 Olympics. We weren't even born for 1 or 2 of them yet, and so, but our mom always had put strong female athletes in front of us, and so when we got the opportunity to meet her, we were like starstruck. But then to know her story and how she grew up in East St. Louis and what she did after she competed, she went back to St. Louis, started a community center, and gives back to underprivileged youth in East St. Louis. And they have like over 1,000 kids that come in and out of their community center. They're a part of like the bus route stops now, and so just what she's been able to do with her platform. And so we see what she's done, and we feel like we have the capacity to do something like that in our community. And so I guess our thoughts has always been, we really want to give back to communities that have given so much to us. And so right now we're thinking like Grand Forks, but then the surrounding regions, and if it's able to grow past that in the future, I think we're certainly open to that. Yeah, if we're able to meet the needs beyond Grand Forks, Fargo, I mean, we obviously want, if we can make a difference statewide, absolutely. And if it gets beyond that, then I think that would be amazing. But I think right now we've had the opportunity to travel all over the country, and we want this to be something where we're impacting North Dakota and the kids growing up in our state. But if we have the potential and the capacity to give back in a national way, I mean, why not?
So let's think about partnerships. It's widely documented that women athletes are not paid nearly as much as men, and so we know that you don't sit with big contracts, signing bonuses, and so for your foundation to reach full potential, you're going to need the help of others. So what does it look like? How are you thinking about engaging with others to pool capital and resources together to go after solving some of these challenges?
Well, I think so we started in July. We had a fundraiser. It was actually in Philadelphia, and it was pulled together very quickly, so we didn't really have the time to reach out. We've had the opportunity to meet Julie with Bell Bank and develop a relationship with Julie, and her passion for giving back and obviously her connections are grander in a way than the connections we have, or appropriate connections for what we want to do. And we want to leverage relationships, and that's what 1 Million Cups is all about, is leveraging relationships and finding like-minded people who want to give back. And you find those people, and you get people like that in one room, and I think great things can happen. And that's what we're going to do. I think we're still working on our long-term business plan and what that's going to look like. But ultimately, we started, and we're like, okay, let's figure this out as we go, knowing that we have to make a long-term plan, and we're going to pull the people in that we know are going to help make a difference. But yeah, I mean, having partnerships and corporate relationships, I mean, that's what's going to be important to making it bigger.
So if someone was just like had $100 in their pocket and it was just burning to give it to you, would you accept it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, great, good. Glad we got that away. Okay, so we're winding down. We want to get the kids back to school. You've got some big moves coming up. You hinted at something that I don't know if I can share yet, but you finished a project that was longer than a school project.
Oh, yeah, that's not a secret.
Okay, so where might we see your work in the next 6 months or so?
So Jocelyn and I are actually currently working on a book right now, very, very much working on it. It's supposed to be released but February, March of next year, so we're about a year away. But we're currently working on that, so stay tuned and yeah.
And then skills competition?
Yep, that's leave tomorrow for that. So it's actually really big for women's hockey. We're going to have a 3v3 during the skills competition. It'll be on NBC, so it'll be nationally televised, and it won't just be 1 or 2 athletes. It's going to be, it's a team.
20 athletes.
Yeah, it's 20 of the best female hockey players in North America, and Monique's going to be one of the commentators.
I'll be between the glass commentating.
Yeah.
So and there is an interview between the two of you coming up in that show, right?
Likely.
It's
very
possible.
likely, yeah.
Okay, we'll look for it.
Yes, better give me something good to talk about. Yeah.
So we've been doing 1 Million Cups for over 5 years. This is a room filled with people that care. They're going to share connections, opportunities. They're going to be advocates. What can the 283 of us in the room, and at least the 12 family members of mine that are watching online, what can we do to support you? What can we do to continue to support your platform, your vision, this foundation that wants to support the one behind? How can we help?
So I think the big thing, we have a mailing address. We're in the process of setting up PayPal or Venmo for donations. So if it's a matter of a monetary donation, we're happy to take your money and give back to give back to our communities. And then we have an email, mjlfoundation at gmail.com, and so reaching out, or if you have Greg's contact, he'll connect us. But I think ultimately, we want to inspire people to give back to their, whether that's going to school when you're paying your child's lunch bill, throw an extra $100 for kids who might not have it. You don't know who those kids are, but there are kids in need.
And it's a lot more than you think. When we got the information about the Grand Forks free and reduced lunch program, it was, I want to say it was
39%
like
of all
39%
kids.
of kids in Grand Forks qualify for free or reduced lunch, and you just don't, like, in what you consider a tight-knit community, you wouldn't think it's that high, but it's very much the reality in many communities.
Mm-hmm. But I think ultimately we want to inspire people, whether that's through our foundation or whatever it is you're passionate about giving back, is to do that. And every little bit matters, and everyone can do something to make a difference.
1 Million Cups, Fargo. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. So as we wrap up today, we just want to give a couple appreciations. Roger, our greeter, thanks for cheering folks on. To our mic runners, number 9 and 11, good luck at your next game. 1 Million Cups has a series of sponsors. So these are the folks that make events like this happen. We've got the folks at Midco, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the FM Area Foundation, the City of Fargo, and I want to tip my hat to the folks at Pro Resources. At the end of the year, they called us and said, we love 1 Million Cups. We want to sponsor the whole year. So they're buying coffee all year. Let's give them a round of applause. Today, to make our birthday special, our friends at Bell Bank did a little meet and greet for the young athletes, so we want to thank them. And to the folks at the Kilbourne Group that bought the cupcakes to help us celebrate, had a little booth, thank you. We want to give thanks to Click Content Studio for documenting the opportunity. We have a couple groups that came, so the youth hockey players are here, but also RDO brought a big group of their women's leadership. So if you ever want to bring a group to 1 Million Cups, we do family reunions, birthday parties. If you got a bachelorette party, we've never hosted that, but we would love to. Next week at 1 Million Cups, we've got Rob from Frac. So we know that there's a tremendous amount of activity in the oil and gas industry. These are folks that are thinking about the digitization of that industry. Join us for that. as most of you know, the stage at Island Park had structural challenges in their building. So 1 Million Cups is going to be going into new locations. Today we're here to celebrate our birthday. The good folks at North Dakota State University's Berry Hall are going to be hosting us, so you can go. We'll be going there for 1 Million Cups. It starts at 9:15. There's free parking in the Sons of Norway lot. Also, they have great pies. Those are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But if you're looking to have peak weight in 2020, you're going to want to stop by Sons of Norway. So we're going to be parking there. We've got an incredible year. You are not going to want to miss 1 Million Cups. We've learned a lot in the last 5 years. We've got some more things. And so as we close today, I want to celebrate a couple things quick. One is Jake is here, who's actually the person that thought 1 Million Cups Fargo should happen. He signed a contract with the attorneys at the Kauffman Foundation and then said, Greg, figure it out. So thank you, Jake. But he sent me a photo, and it was a time hop. 6 years ago today, we started. And 6 years ago today, it was a snowstorm, and there was about 30 of us at the Plains Art Museum. Dave Batchelor gave a talk, and the second week there was more folks. We've continued to grow. This is the largest 1 Million Cups in history. Last night I was with some college students and an entrepreneur that just signed his 3rd contract, and it's going to transform his community. And he told us a story how 5 years ago he was in Culm, North Dakota, looking to move to Austin, Texas. And he walked around downtown Fargo, and he saw what Kilborn Group's vision of spaces like this would be. And he saw this entrepreneurial spirit, and he wanted to be part of it. So he stayed. He skipped his flight to Austin, and now he just signed a 6-figure contract to do work all over the world. Entrepreneurship is a team sport. 1 Million Cups matters. Thanks for being here today, and let's continue to celebrate the one behind. Thanks, and have a great Wednesday!